Hey everyone, in this video we are going to give you a basic introduction to our platform, Dialoguewise. Dialoguewise is a headless CMS and allows you to manage content across multiple platforms like website, mobile app, or even IoT devices. First, let's show you the pricing page to give you an understanding of how the pricing works. As you can see here, we have 4 types of plans. The starter plan is completely free for however long you want to use it, and no credit cards are asked during signup. Next, you have the small and medium plans that are good for smaller teams or a medium-sized organization, and then you have the enterprise plan for large organizations. So let's have a look at the medium plan. Here you can see that it supports 2 organizations. So if you are an agency who needs to manage 2 different clients using a single login, or if you are an organization with teams in 2 different countries and want to separately manage the 2 locations under a single login, this is an ideal plan. Similarly, if you see the projects, it says it supports 5 projects. This is actually per organization. So in total, you are actually getting 10 projects. You can see this information in the tooltip provided. Similarly, the other features like users and storage are all per organization. So you are actually getting a lot more value from this plan. The enterprise plan works similarly as well. Now, let me take you through the product. Since I've already created an account, I'll just use that to log in. But if you are new to the platform, you can sign up and it should take you straight in. As you can see here, once you log in, it takes you to the dashboard where it lists your project. In this case, because we have a new account, you see the Create Project card. We'll come back to this shortly. The dashboard also gives you a summary of your usages based on your plan, and then below that you have links to documents, examples, and also live help. Now let's start by creating our first project, and let's give the project a name. Once the project is created, you should see the project dashboard. So for admins, they would see 2 dashboards. One is the organization dashboard, which shows you the plan summary details for that organization, and then you also get a project dashboard. The organization dashboard is only visible for admins. Because this is a new project, you don't see any data here. Here you have your asset screen that allows you to manage your images, documents, and also videos. Let's proceed further. Now, before we can start creating any content, the first thing is to create a template. Let's now create our first template. As you can see, you now get a blank canvas where you can drag and drop the different type of fields that you require. For the purpose of this demo, let's just add 2 fields. Now, let's fill in the field's details. Let the first field be name. Display name is just a friendly title that is displayed. This text will be displayed as your placeholder text in your text box. We'll make this field mandatory. This would be for the description. We'll just leave the placeholder blank. Our fields are now ready. Let's now provide a template name and then save this template. Now we have successfully created a template. The next step is to create a dialogue which uses this template and then add our contents to it. Currently, we don't have any dialogues. That's why you see an empty screen. Here you can also organize your dialogues by creating separate folders. This is really convenient when you are dealing with, say, a large website with many pages. You can organize your contents into folders that are similar to the structure of your website. So let's now start creating our dialogue. Let's give the title as Product Catalog. Let's select the template that we just created, and we'll keep it as repeatable type, as this allows us to enter multiple contents. And click Continue. You now get a screen that looks like a form, which is generated based on the fields that you've provided in your template. You can see that the name has an asterisk next to it. This is because we made it as a mandatory field in the template. You would have also noticed the placeholders. You can now enter your contents here. Let's add our first content here. I'll give the product name as sunglasses and a description. You can now click the Add and New button to save this content and add the next one. Otherwise, if you are done, you can just click Finish. Let's just add one more content. Let's give this product name as T-shirt and then a description as well. Now that we are done adding our contents, let's click Finish. So now you can see both our contents listed here. If you are wondering what the country, subdivision, and language column are, they are used to indicate the geo-targeted details. So if it shows a specific country, then that means that that particular content is targeted for that country. This feature is only available for paid plans. Let's now proceed and deploy the contents. Expressions and variables are for advanced use cases. We will see that in a separate video. For now, we'll skip them. We are now at the deployment screen, which allows you to deploy your contents. As you can see, it shows the current status of your contents, which is draft. There are 3 ways by which you can deploy your contents. Schedule allows you to deploy your contents automatically at a specified future date and time. Publish deploys your content instantly and makes it live. The pilot option allows you to deploy your content in pilot mode. This is useful when you want to test your contents in a non-production environment, like UAT or staging before making them live. For the purpose of this demo, let's just publish it. Let's provide a comment here, and now let's publish the contents. So, the contents are now deployed successfully. Let's preview it. We are now at the preview screen. The preview actually fetches the content from the live API from the endpoint mentioned here and displays it. You can also see here there are 2 buttons called Published Version and Piloted Version. This allows you to preview your contents that are deployed in pilot mode and publish mode. The dialog tab shows you the contents that you currently have. Sandbox allows you to simulate which of your contents are displayed based on certain conditions. This is helpful when you have geo-targeted and device-targeted contents. For example, if you have contents targeted for, say, Australia, then using Sandbox, you can actually simulate the location Australia and see the contents that are displayed for users in Australia. This feature is only available for paid plans. We'll create a separate video in the future to explain how Sandbox works. So for now, let's preview our contents. The preview comes in 2 modes, Pretty and Raw. The Pretty mode would just list your contents in a nice grid format, whereas the Raw mode would show you the actual response coming from the API in JSON format. Once you're done with the preview, you can just click Done, and this should take you back to the dialogues. You can now see that it shows the status as published. If you want to see your contents, you can just click this context menu and then select View Contents. Now your contents are ready to be displayed on your app. For this, you will need to integrate Dialoguewise into your apps, either by using our SDKs or calling our APIs directly. But before you can start the integration, there is one last step. That is to create an access token. Let's have a look at that as well. So let's start creating the key by clicking this Add API Key button. Here, let's provide a name and description. The access token that you see here is what you will be using in your SDK or when calling the API. The option Allow to push data to Dialoguewise allows you to control whether your app can push data directly to the CMS or not, and the Active option enables or disables this API key. Now click on Add, and we are done. We've now completed all the necessary steps required in Dialoguewise, and your content is ready to be integrated. Let's now see how we can integrate this into a sample React app. We've created this demo React app on StackBlitz in advance so that we don't need to really go through the steps of creating the app. It's a very basic app and nothing fancy. Section 1. As you can see here in the dependencies section, we've added the Dialoguewise NPM package. This would be the first step you will need to do in your app as well. Section 2. Once you've installed the package, then we import the module as you can see here. Section 3. We've created a method called showContents that would fetch the contents from Dialoguewise and store it in our response variable. You might have noticed that we haven't provided the slug and the access token yet, which is why you are not seeing any contents here. Section 4. Lastly, we are displaying the contents in our render method. Now, let's enter the slug and access token. Let's just copy the access token from here and provide it as the value for access token parameter. You can now see that this React app displays the contents from Dialoguewise. So that pretty much concludes this video. We've covered all the main steps required for you, right from starting with a new account to creating, deploying, and integrating your contents. We hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. We'll be posting videos on more advanced concepts in Dialoguewise, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. Bye for now, and we'll see you in our next video.